It's 5-Minute Friday. How are you guys? I hope everyone's having a great second week of distance learning if you're like me in Palm Beach County. So today I really want to talk, first of all, do you like my necklace or do I look like Mr. T? Please drop a note below and let me know what you think. It's brand new. Matches my earrings. Cute, right? So today I really want to talk about something that came up in my space in connection with a blog article that I post, which is one of my most popular, and it's about outsourcing. But in like the periphery of that topic is, of course, the absolute truth that outsourcing costs money, right? So I think most of the moms it resonated with are okay with that. They understand that sometimes you've got to pay a little to have some convenience or to really do the things that you want to do. But on the flip side of that came out this sort of resistance towards spending money on something like that. And when you get down to the like grit of it, it's about spending money and investing money on you that I think that sometimes causes very strong reactions in women and especially moms. So I wanted to talk about that because I want to explore that further. I have a very dear friend who happens to be a financial expert and she's also a mom. So I want to kind of pick her brain. I'm thinking of writing about this a little bit more, this sort of phenomenon where imposter syndrome, and if you don't know what that means, it's like this belief that you're not good enough, that, you know, who are you to be able to do anything? It's all centered around limiting beliefs. Where imposter syndrome intersects with personal finances. And I think it's a really interesting topic. So I wanted to get more information and just like pick all of your all's brains about where that happens for you. Where do those two things intersect in the sense that you have limiting beliefs when it comes to investing money on you and investing money in yourself? And I'll tell you, when I was a full stay-at-home mom, when Emma was a baby, and up until the time that she was maybe like 3 or 4, I was completely stay at home, didn't do anything, like didn't have a home-based business, didn't do anything, just, you know, took care of the household. I was CEO of Casa Odin, I like to say. And in that time, I went from making a lot of money as a lawyer to making zero money, and, you know, contributing as the housemaker, the homemaker, and my husband, you know, became the breadwinner and he paid for everything. But during those years, I really didn't have money, I felt, to spend on myself unless I asked for it. And that sort of mentality carried through with me even when I started my home-based business, started to see success, started to make money. And now that I, you know, lawyer part-time and I have this online media company, I have Your Ideal Mom Life and the blog and upcoming podcasts, etc. And I'm earning my own money. I still sometimes find that imposter coming in and telling me like, you can't afford that, or you shouldn't. It's really what I'm telling myself is I shouldn't spend the money on me, where I would have no problem spending it on my kids or my family. And I just want to know, like, where does that show up for you? I don't know that I necessarily have a response in terms of like advice, although that is something I'd like to flush out as I'm writing about it. And I'm definitely going to interview this friend of mine for a podcast. By the way, Yvonne Jimerson, if you're watching this, I'm talking about you, so you hopefully will say yes to being interviewed. But I want to know what the universe of sort of limiting beliefs are. Because sometimes, you know, I mean, there's, of course, like there's demographics and then there's beliefs. And I find that what I'm talking about are women in a demographic where seemingly they could afford it, but they tell themselves they can't. Like they'll go to Starbucks every day, but then they'll tell themselves they don't have money for a housekeeper. And I think the real issue is that they don't believe they deserve it. Like they don't believe they deserve to make that kind of expenditure on something that would make their life easier, or maybe it's like an online course or something to better themselves, or starting a home-based business, whatever it might be. But I just want to know. I want to know where that comes up for you, so I can kind of explore, you know, to see if there's any common patterns, and it's just like a little research for me. So anyway, let's talk about it. Drop a comment below. Hope you're having a great Friday, and I will see you next Friday for 5-Minute Fridays.